The following is a 360-degree video presentation, best viewed on a mobile phone, tablet, or your desktop computer. Let's go tour the 2018 Pleasureway Lexor TS. The Lexor TS is the most affordable Pleasureway that you can buy. The Lexor TS is 1.5 feet longer than the Ascent TS, but they utilize that 1.5 feet very smartly in the Lexor TS. Let's go take a look at it right now so you can see for yourself. We are inside a 2018 Pleasureway Lexor TS. TS is the twin sleeping sofa that you see in the back. You have your kitchen galley on the passenger side. It's wide open, as you can see, and then you have your bathroom and your refrigerator here on the driver's side. The standard parking space in North America is 20 feet. So this is 20 feet 11 inches, so it will stick over a standard parking space. You'll need a little bit more space in the front or a little bit more space in the back. It's not so much larger that I think it's going to cause a massive problem for you, but it is a little bit longer, and it is something you need to be aware of. This chassis is also front-wheel drive, so for those of you who live in the snow country, that will be nice for you to know. We have a closet here with a couple nice pull-outs and a place to store your tabletop and also a place to store your slats for the bed. Now in the galley, as you can see, you have on the 2018 models, you have, I think this is much nicer. This is the residential faucet. It sits up much higher. It's a pet peeve that I have on my Ascent. My faucet's about half the height of this, and so when you're washing dishes and pots and pans and things like that, it's just a little bit more difficult to move things around. So that's much nicer. On the Lexor, and this is something that I don't know how I feel about. As you can see, they've moved the microwave down below the stove. And because your counter is a little bit deeper here, they can put a convection microwave in. So that means that you can bake and roast and brown in that microwave, which is really, really nice. But it is a little bit lower, and you have to decide as a buyer whether or not that height works for you. I personally like having my microwave at eye level so I can look into it when I'm using it, and when I can pull out, I'm 5'10", I can just pull out like this, but perhaps if I was shorter, that might make a difference for me. Nonetheless, the microwave's here on the galley side, and what that means is, unfortunately, it takes up quite a bit of storage space. So you can see over here, excuse me, you have a very large drawer in the galley. Here, it's really deep, and you can get a lot of things in there, and it's also soft closing, which is great. And then underneath of you here, you can see you have a little bit of space with a couple pull-out drawers here. They're cut that way because of the piping, the drainage pipes from the sink. But it's nice that they give you that extra little bit of storage. And then you do get storage all the way under here. Because the microwave is no longer over here above the refrigerator, you get a much larger refrigerator. Look at that refrigerator. It's really nice. It's 5 cubic feet. It is a 3-way, so it's an absorption. It runs off of DC, AC, and liquid propane. So you have to switch it here manually between AC, DC, and propane, whereas on the Ascent, it's automatic, so it knows if you start the engine, it switches over to DC. If you're plugged into shore power, it'll switch over to AC, and in between, it'll run off natural gas. This is another one of those things you have to decide, do you really want a larger refrigerator? If you do want a larger refrigerator, this is great on the Lexor. Look at this gorgeous bathroom inside this 20-foot van. I just like the residential feel of the Corian countertop over here and a stainless steel sink. 2 AC outlets over here. Man, this is nice. The window's much bigger. It doesn't open, but it's a nice big window. They have a nice residential style towel holder here. Keep in mind, this van is an MSRP. It's $20-some thousand less than my Ascent. This bathroom is one of those things where it's such a nice bathroom. This is basically the same bathroom as on the $150,000 Pleasureway Plateau. Well, welcome back to the lounge in the 2018 Pleasureway Luxor. And this should look very familiar because this is the exact same layout as what I have in my Ascent. And you know that I love the layout that I have in the Ascent. You have a large bench seat in the back, which has two shoulder restraint seat belts, but a third person could sit in the middle. There's just no lap belt for them there. And then you have two large ottomans on the side, which can also be used as seating. And right where you're at right now, where if you look below, you can put a nice sized table in between there. Now, as you can see, sitting here in the back of the Lexor is really spacious and open. You've got all the windows all the way around. You have this nice 24-inch flat screen TV. You have really comfortable, these ottomans are memory foam. Look how thick these are, and sit on them and you'll find they are very comfortable. That's because Pleasureway uses memory foam on the ottomans as well. That's important to note because the ottomans are about half of your bed. So when you're sleeping, it's nice, of course, to have memory foam on the bench, sofa, but if these were not memory foam, then there'd be a difference in the pressure and in the comfort level of one half of your body when you're sleeping. So it's nice that Pleasureway uses memory foam. You have two AC outlets over here, and then you have down below here, you have two on each side, so a total of 4 USB charging stations as well. You can see here, one of the windows here opens on the back. This closer one up here does not open, and I would imagine it's because of the sliding door. They don't want you accidentally having that open, and when you fling open the sliding door, it hits and smashes it and wrecks it to pieces. Now, another thing to notice, and I don't know if you can see it, there's about a 3-inch step up here. Okay, I believe that's because this is front wheel drive, and normally the axle would be running down through here, and all of this whole area here from the front to the back would be a raised level to accommodate the axle. But because this is front wheel drive, we don't have the drivetrain through the middle section, but we do have the axle for the rear wheels, so they have to raise up the floor to allow the axle to come through. So what that means is here you have slightly less, as you can see, 6 foot 3 inches. Here you have the 6 foot 3 inches. You need to be aware of this step because you might trip over it. And the same thing goes for the cab up front. There's another step. It's a little bit taller here. It's 5 or 6 inches step up into the cab. So there are 2 steps. New for 2018 across all of Pleasureway's lines is the new touch panel control center color for all of their vans, including here in the Lexor. And this is really, really nice. I'm super excited about this. If you look at some other vans, what you'll see is you'll see a messy control center, either like above the door or someplace, and you'll see all these gizmos and gadgets and knobs and buttons. Each one looks different, and each one controls a different component in the van. And what Pleasureway has done, and what this touch panel does, is it consolidates all of that into a very easy to look at, very easy to understand centralized control center for everything in your van. And you have 2 of these touch panels. You have one in the rear and one in the front. So if you want to control any bank of lights or dim any bank of lights, you can just do it from there. If you want to extend your awning, pull it back, retract your awning, you can do it right from here. If you want to turn on your vent fan or open your vent fan, you can do it from there. It consolidates your heating controls for your air conditioner as well as your heater down below, all here as well. So I like that because it really cleans up the inside of these vans. These vans are very small, and so if you start taking up lots of space with all of these specialized controls for every component, it starts to look really cluttered inside. Now, these control centers also give you things like automatic generator start. This is Pleasureway's answer to Volt Start. And so what it does is, if you want to run the air conditioner, which is right above you, while you're away, let's say you have pets in the van, then you can turn on automatic generator start. And if the temperature gets too warm inside of the coach and the air conditioner needs to run, the coach will automatically start the generator, and provide enough power for you to run the air conditioner until the inside of the coach is cooled down. That's a really, really nice feature. It's especially nice in the Lexor because the Lexor's generator runs off gasoline instead of propane. So you have a much larger gas tank, which means that your generator can run a lot longer to power your air conditioner. And in addition, it's a lot more convenient to go fill up this van at a normal gas station than it is for me to go find a propane station to fill up my propane tanks. This Lexor, like all of Pleasureways models, also comes with MCD shades. These are super simple. You just pull them down. They keep the light out. When you want them up and out of the way, you just pull it and it goes back up. Very simple, very easy to clean, low profile. They look great and they work great. So MCD shades. This has the Truma AquaGo, which you know I love from the Ascent. So that's the instant hot water heater. In addition, it's the Comfort Plus model. As soon as you turn any faucet on, including the exterior one, you immediately get hot water. Really beautiful, highly polished Corian countertops. Now this is something else to look for in a high-end RV. Yes, there are other van manufacturers who use Corian, but look at the luster and the shine of this Corian. It's because it is hand polished a number of times to give it this luster. The Lexor TS is ideally set up for a couple, motivated by quality and the premium brands, but you might be a little bit price conscious. So if you're that couple who's looking to buy a camper van and quality is really important to you, you need to take a look at the 2018 Pleasureway Lexor TS. It is a great van, great value, and high quality.